endless harvest. More than 200 years ago, Russian explorers and fur hunters landed on the Aleutian Islands, a volcanic archipelago in the North Pacific, and learned of a landmass that lay farther to the north. The island's native inhabitants called this landmass Alaska, the Great Land. Today we know it as Alaska. The 49th state to join the United States of America in 1955, Alaska is fully one-fifth the size of the mainland 48 states combined. It shares with Canada the second longest river system in the North America and has over half of the coastlines of the United States. The rivers feed into the Bering Sea and Gulf of Alaska, cold, nutrient-rich waters which support tens of millions of seabirds and over 400 species of fish, shellfish, crustaceans, and mollusks. Taking advantage of this rich bounty, Alaska's commercial fisheries have developed into some of the largest in the world. According to the Alaska Department of Fish and Game, ADF&G, Alaska's commercial fisheries landed hundreds of thousands of tons of shellfish and herring, and well over 1 million tons of groundfish, cod, sole, perch, and pollock in 2000. The true cultural heart and soul of Alaska fisheries, however, is salmon. Salmon, notes writer Susan Ewing in the Great Alaska Nature Facebook, pump through Alaska like blood through a heart, bringing rhythmic, circulating nourishment to land, animals, and people. The predictable abundance of salmon allowed some native cultures to flourish, and dying spawners feed bears, eagles, other animals, and ultimately the soil itself. All 5 species of Pacific salmon, Chinook or king, drum or dog, coho or silver, sockeye or red, and pink or humpback spawn in Alaskan waters, and 90% of all Pacific salmon commercially caught in North America are produced there. Indeed, if Alaska was an independent nation, it would be the largest producer of wild salmon in the world. During 2000, commercial catches of Pacific salmon in Alaska exceeded 320,000 tons, with an ex-virtual value of over $260 million. Catches have not always been so heavy. Between 1940 and 1959, overfishing led to crashes in salmon population so severe that in 1953, Alaska would declare a federal disaster area. With the onset of the statehood, however, the state of Alaska took over management of its own fishery, guided by a state constitution, which mandates that Alaska natural resources be managed on a sustainable basis. At that time, statewide harvest totaled around 25 million salmon. Over the next few decades, average catches steadily increased as a result of this policy of sustainable management. Until the 1990s, annual harvests were well in excess of 100 million, and on several occasions were over 200 million fish. The primary reason for such increases is that what is known in-season abundance-based management. There are biologists throughout the state constantly monitoring adult fish as they show up to spawn. The biologists sit in the stream side counting towers, study sonar, and watch from aeroplanes and talk to the fishermen. The salmon season in Alaska is not preset. The fishermen know the approximate time of the year when they will be allowed to fish, but on any given day, one or more field biologists in a particular area can put a hold into fishing. Even sport fishing